Hi guys, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about episode 13 of season 7 of Riverdale, chapter 130, The Crucible. Now, if you haven't seen the episode, there will be spoilers in this review, so stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So, here's my review for episode 13 of season 7 of Riverdale. Chapter 130, The Crucible. When Clifford told Mrs. Thornton's class that Penelope was going to replace Mrs. Thornton because Mrs. Thornton was being accused of being a communist, I didn't blame the students for how they reacted. I also understood why Archie was hesitant about telling his friends that Mrs. Thornton has been helping him with his poetry, but I hope that he tells them soon. I also felt sorry for Jughead and Ethel when they went to pick up a copy of the comic book that had their story in it and were told that they were sent back to Pep Comics. When Clifford and Penelope told Cheryl that they heard about Cheryl and Tony's kiss and that they wanted Cheryl to redeem herself by naming other gay students at Riverdale High, I was proud of Cheryl for refusing. But when Clifford threatened to take the Vixens away from Cheryl, I was wondering what she was going to do. I also didn't blame Veronica for being suspicious when she saw Hiram at the Pembroke. No matter what Hiram says, he always has an ulterior motive. I've never trusted Hiram, but I thought it was pretty funny when he was giving Julian notes during Julian's monologue. I also felt bad for Betty when she was told that the Blue and Gold was being shut down. So I loved when she decided to write an anonymous newsletter to help other students. I was also glad that Cheryl told Tony, Kevin, and Clay about the list that Clifford had, and when Tony asked Cheryl who would gain the most with Cheryl being kicked off the Vixens, Cheryl realized it was Evelyn. It was funny how Archie reacted when he was asked if Mrs. Thornton was trying to indoctrinate him into communism when she was only helping him with his poetry. But it was really upsetting to see how Uncle Frank reacted to Archie writing poems. It also wasn't a surprise to find out that an FBI agent was going after Hiram. And I understood that Veronica wanted to help Hiram when he asked her to testify for him to prove that he's not a communist. But Veronica didn't want to lie to the government. So it was good that Hiram gave Veronica some time to think about it. I didn't blame Archie for how he reacted when he saw Veronica drive away with the FBI agent. But Veronica went with the FBI agent because he told her that he had proof that Hiram was a communist. It was also really nice that Archie visited Miss Thornton, and even though it was sad that she was moving, it was nice to see how supportive of Archie she was. And she gave Archie a copy of the play The Crucible, and Archie decided to do a scene from it for class. Since no one was selling the comic books from Pep Comics, I thought it was smart that Jughead and Ethel decided to secretly sell them themselves. It also showed how much Tony loves Cheryl when she told Cheryl her plan, which was Cheryl and Kevin would pretend to date, and Tony and Clay would pretend to date. Even though not being her true self goes against what Tony stands for, she would do it if Cheryl would be able to keep the vixens. When it turned out that the reason Hiram needed Veronica to testify for him was because he cheated on Hermione and he signed a morality contract for their show, so if Veronica didn't help him, they would lose everything. I didn't blame Veronica when she told Hiram that he shouldn't be asking her for help, he should be asking her for mercy, considering the fact that Veronica feels like Hiram doesn't actually care about her. He only cares about his show. I'm going to assume that it was on purpose that the name of the woman that Hiram cheated on Hermione with is Kelly, since Mark Consuelos, who plays Hiram, is married to Kelly Ripa in real life. It was great that Archie telling the class about his monologue made Cheryl decide not to name any gay students, even though she would lose the vixens. And Veronica told Archie that his monologue gave her a lot to think about, and then Archie and Veronica kissed. I don't know what will come from this, but we'll see. I also felt sorry for Jughead and Ethel when they were caught secretly selling comic books. But at least they were able to get their story out there. When Archie met Mrs. Grundy and she told him that Mrs. Thornton told her about Archie and said that she would be happy to help Archie with his poems, even though Mrs. Grundy told Archie that she would give him some of her husband's poems, I'm wondering, like in season 1, if they will start having an affair. I was also worried about what Principal Featherhead and Dr. Weathers were going to do next about the comic books. And it was pretty extreme. Even though Veronica decided to help Hiram, I was glad that she made him agree that he would tell Hermione about his affair, and he would also sign over ownership of the Pembroke to Veronica. But knowing Hiram, I'm just hoping he keeps his word. I was also happy for Betty when she got a lot of responses to her newsletter, and I can't wait to see the kind of advice she gives. It was sad when Hermione told Veronica that this season of her and Hiram's show will be the last, and that Hiram and Hermione will be getting a divorce. But it was nice when Hermione told Veronica that she wanted to spend Christmas with Veronica in New York, just the two of them. So I'm hoping that that goes well. I also didn't blame Jughead for being suspicious about Principal Featherhead buying comics from students. And Jughead was right to be suspicious, since all of the comic books were burned. Thanks for watching, guys! If you saw the episode, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And if you want to see any of my previous Riverdale reviews, check out the playlist. And if you want to see any of my future Riverdale reviews, or any of my other future videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!